Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, related to last lecture of engineering physics, we have started our unit number 2, and in that, up to this point, we have seen what are the defects due to reflection of sound. Two defects are there. Can you people name what were the two defects due to reflection of sound?
It was echo and reverberation.
Yes, echo and reverberation both occurs, both acoustical phenomenon occurs due to reflection of sound, and we can't say like if echo and reverberation are there, both are the problems. At particular situation, reverberation is required, also echo is required, but if the intensity of that reverberation or echo exceeds particular limit, then it becomes problematic for the audience. Okay, so we need to have proper reverberation time of any place, and wherever echo is required to generate, like for various kinds of concert, the echo is advisable. So at that moment the arrangement is done in such a way that echo will be created. But if the intensity, if the amount of time period of that echo and reverberation is huge, then it will become problem for the audience, and we need to consider all that things while designing any of the hall. So we have seen what is reverberation and reverberation time. So who will give us the definition of reverberation? Shubham Shinde. Yes, Shubham. What is the definition of reverberation? Shubham Shinde, roll number 15.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the definition of reverberation? Do you know the definition? Or if you don't know, then let us know that thing also. Okay.
Ma'am, may I try?
Okay. हाँ पवन.
Ma'am, the time, if the time between two successive sounds is less than 0.1 second, then it is called as reverberation.
Okay. Good. Yes. Anybody want to add something to this statement? Akib? Farhan? Yes, Akib.
I can also tell one more point.
Yes.
Reflection of sound waves.
Yes, that is also correct. Reverberation occurs due to reflection of sound. What Akib want to say?
Yes.
Yes, Akib. We are not getting your voice, Akib. Okay, it's okay. Maybe he is having some problem. So basically, reverberation is related to persistence or prolongation of sound. Okay, sound will be there in a particular situation for a particular amount of time. Yes, persistence of sound due to multiple reflection. Whatever said by Renuka, that is absolutely correct. And whatever time period it has taken to fall from its average intensity.
Hello,
Yes, Akib.
now my sound is visible.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Akib.
Same answer was there like Pawan.
Okay. Okay. So, what we have seen, in case of reverberation, there will be prolongation. So, whatever prolongation is there, it means sound will get generated over there and it will disappear after some amount of time. So whatever is the time period to become that sound inaudible, that time period is nothing but reverberation time. And in last lecture only I have mentioned that there is one scientist who has done several amounts of experiment and he has put some conclusion in order to calculate reverberation time. So who was the scientist that I have mentioned? What is the name of that scientist?
Professor Sabine.
Professor Sabine, yes. W.S. Sabine is the scientist who has done work related to calculation of reverberation time. And I have mentioned that what are the conclusions that he has provided. So can you recall what were the conclusions? I think we have seen 4 conclusions. So if you can recall, mention one by one, otherwise we will start with that point. Yes, Pranali, can you recall what were the points?
Ma'am, can you repeat it?
Okay. So in last lecture, last point that we have seen is the calculation of reverberation time. Okay. I have mentioned that Professor W.S. Sabine, he has performed several experiments, and whatever experiments he has performed, from that all he has given some conclusions. So what were that conclusions? That was the question.
And may I tell one?
Yes, Pawan.
Ma'am, time is directly depends means proportional to the volume of the volume of
Yes,
the room.
that is absolutely correct. Reverberation time is depends upon volume of the hall. Suppose if I would like to calculate the reverberation time of the hall where I am sitting right now. Okay, so first I need to see what is the volume of that particular hall in order to calculate reverberation time, because reverberation time depends upon the volume of the hall. Same is applicable for you people. Suppose you would like to calculate reverberation time of the room where you are present right now. Okay, so to calculate reverberation time of the place where you are right now, first you need to see what is the volume of the particular room. And of course, if small room is there, then reverberation time will be small. If larger room is there, reverberation time will be larger. Okay, so that kind of relation we can see with respect to reverberation time and volume of the hall. Then what was the second conclusion?
And the frequency was inversely proportional to the reverberation time.
Yes, frequency and reverberation time will have the inverse proportion. Okay, next to that, third conclusion. Certain components of room were mentioned in that particular statement. Okay, so if you can't recall, we will directly go towards that particular slide and we will start our discussion. Hope screen is visible to all of you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So Professor Sabine, what he has done, he has taken one room for its experimentation. First, he has calculated reverberation time of the empty room. Then he has introduced various kinds of objects in the room, and after insertion of each and every object, he has tested the sound intensity. Okay. So depending upon that, what he has concluded, that reverberation time depends upon reflecting properties of the walls, floor and ceilings of the hall. Okay, so you need to see how are the walls, floors and ceilings of the room, they are reflecting the sound. Okay, now when we talk about reflection, of course, in the previous slide we have seen whenever sound incident on any of the material, at a time there will be several processes. Okay, I'll go to that particular slide. Okay, so whenever sound will incident on any of the platform, there will be a transmission of light. Some amount will get absorbed into the material, some sound will get reflected from that, and some will feel the diffusion over there. So whenever we are saying that reverberation time depends upon the reflecting properties of the halls, then we need to see how much amount of absorption is getting over at that particular time. Okay, so absorption, reflection are occurring at a same amount of time. We need to see how are both the properties. Okay, so that one need to see while calculating reverberation time. Then, as Pawan has mentioned, reverberation time directly depends upon the physical volume of the hall. Higher the volume, higher will be the reverberation time. Then another thing, third important thing, that reverberation time depends upon coefficient of absorption of various surfaces. Okay, or absorption capabilities of materials is considered in the third point. Okay, so whatever are the objects present in that particular room, we need to consider coefficient of absorption of all that materials while calculating reverberation time. And depending upon these three conclusions only, the practical that we are going to see in this particular week, you people are going to calculate all that things. Means whenever this particular practical will be there, you have to consider all 3 points for the calculation of reverberation time. Okay, and inverse relation can be seen in between frequency of the sound and reverberation time. Okay, so high amount of frequency, shorter will be the reverberation time. So frequency also plays important role in case of calculation of reverberation time. Is anybody wants to join the meeting? Okay, so whatever 3 points or 4 points we have mentioned, according to that we need to see what is the formula. So basically the reverberation time of any hall is directly proportional to volume of the hall that we have seen, and it is inversely proportional to total absorption in the hall. Consider that any hall is having say 10 objects. So we need to calculate, we need to see what is the absorption of all that 10 objects, and by combining all that absorption capabilities, one need to see what is the total absorption of the hall. Okay, so based upon this particular statement, that is reverberation time T of any hall is directly proportional to volume of the hall, that is nothing but the V, and inversely proportional to total absorption in the hall. So that total absorption is denoted with the letter capital A. Okay, so based upon this, how we can write reverberation time T is directly proportional to volume of the hall and inversely proportional to total absorption in the hall, that is nothing but the capital A. Okay, so the same statement we have taken in some mathematical form. So T, that is nothing but reverberation time. We have removed here the proportionality sign. So by removing proportionality sign, one need to take one constant. So here the K is taken as one constant, and this particular equation, it will become V upon A. V volume of the hall and A total absorption in the hall. So whatever statement or whatever formula you can see over here, that is nothing but the Sabine's formula. Now by calculating or by performing various experiments, Sabine has given the particular value of the constant, and that value of proportionality sign is nothing but 0.161. Okay, so by considering value of K, constant of proportionality, we can rewrite equation as T is equal to 0.161 V upon A, where V is nothing but volume of the hall, A is nothing but total absorption in the hall. Okay. Now to calculate total absorption in the hall, as I said, we need to see of course we need to take summation of the absorbing capabilities of all the objects. Like suppose there are n number of objects, then we are going to calculate, we are going to see what is the absorption coefficient of all that entities. Absorption coefficient we denote generally with small a. So here you can see at each and every term there is small a. So if n number of objects are there, we need to see what is their absorption coefficient. And as I have mentioned in the last lecture, suppose you are having, I have given you one instant, like if a wooden platform is there with say 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter dimensions and another wooden platform with 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter dimensions. So of course absorption capabilities will be different for both the objects. Okay, so means we need to see how is the surface area of each and every object. Okay, so here basically if n number of objects are there, first we will see what is the first object, its absorption coefficient and its surface area, plus second object, its absorption coefficient and its surface area, then third object's coefficient of absorption and surface area one need to see. Like this, how many objects are there, depending upon that you are going to take this summation over here. Okay, so here in the above equation, A1, A2, A3 are the absorption coefficient and S1, S2, S3 are the surface areas of the absorbing material. So by considering all that things, how one can write the equation T is equal to 0.161, V will be as it is. In the denominator we need to write A1 S1 plus A2 S2 plus A3 S3 plus up to An Sn. So this is the Sabine's formula that one need to use while calculating the reverberation time. Okay, how to calculate volume? Who will tell? If I need to calculate volume of the room, what will be the formula for that?
Simply length into breadth into height.
Yes, simple. You need to see what is the length of the hall, what is the breadth of the hall. Yes, and what is the height of the hall. Okay, so if you can consider all that three properties, then numerator problem will get solved. Related to denominator, you need to see how many objects are there, and by taking the absorption coefficient and surface area of all that objects, we can calculate reverberation time. Okay, so this is the formula that is provided by Sabine. So it is also known as Sabine's formula for the calculation of reverberation time. So is there any doubt up to this in Sabine's formula? Do you want to ask something related to this? Yes, is there any doubt?
Ma'am, while calculating the formula, ma'am, if in the hall there are some objects of that means are there some objects put on in the hall, so do we have to cancel the volume of those objects from the total volume?
No, volume just calculate LBH, because in denominator you are going to consider that object with their surface area. Okay, so whatever absorption that objects are doing at that point, that you are going to calculate in the denominator. So no need to subtract volume of that particular thing from the volume of the hall. Whenever you are going to, of course in this Friday only I am going to give you this particular task. So in that you are going to calculate this. So you have to take volume as a separate entity, and then you have to take the surface area of whatever objects are there. Even in say practical, you can neglect smaller objects, like suppose you are calculating the reverberation time of the room where you are present right now. Okay, So might be as you are attending the lecture, you might be having some pencil or pen or some sharpener or some eraser. So most of the time we can neglect the surface area and absorption capabilities of smaller objects. But whatever are the bigger objects who are having high impact on the absorption of the sound, so that objects one need to consider. Okay, if you consider very small objects, then it will become a very complicated equation. So for that we can neglect the areas, surface areas of smaller entities, and we can consider only larger entities while calculating the reverberation time. And you will find that, like suppose for say Pawan, volume of the hall will be different. Okay, Sanika, wherever she is right now, that room will have different kinds of volume. Whatever objects are present in their rooms, that may be vary person to person's home. Okay, if another student, say for Akib, the volume and the objects surrounding will be different. For Prachi, of course there will be difference in all that entities. But when you will going for the calculation, you will see that whatever reverberation time you people have calculated, it will have some similarity. Okay, I'm not saying that whatever reverberation time is calculated by Pawan, the same answer will given by the Sanika. But of course there will be some relation. Either they will be in the same range, say 1 second, 1 second, or 1.5, 1.3. So like this. So whatever are the answers that you people are going to calculate, either they will be in similar range, or they will have some kinds of similarity. Okay, so why that happens? Of course there is one technical reason behind this, but what is that technical reason, that we are going to see in the practical session. Okay, so is there any doubt besides this, whatever asked by one student right now? Is there any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the formula, and whenever we have seen formula in the syllabus, of course we have taken some numerical questions related to that. So one statement you can see on the screen. I'll suggest write down that statement and try to calculate whatever is asked. For the statement, a hall of volume 5500 meter cube is found to have a reverberation time of 2.3 seconds. Sound absorbing surface of the hall has an area of 750 meter square. Calculate the average absorption coefficient. Okay, so this is the statement. First, try to see what are the quantities that are provided, and let's see what you need to calculate. So who will tell what is the given data and what one needs to calculate over here? Yes, anybody?
Ma'am, time is given, and area of hall is given, and volume is separately given.
Yes. And what we have to calculate?
Absorption coefficient.
Absorption coefficient, or small a we can say. Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So first you people calculate the reverberation time, and then I'll share the solution. Okay. So small a you need to calculate. Formula you people know. So use that formula, put the values and calculate average absorption coefficient. And let me know your answer. And don't put answer in the chat box. I can't see chat box today. So unmute and give me the answer. Once you complete the calculation, let me know your answer.
It would be 385.
No.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
3.13.
No.
385.
How you are getting that range, I didn't understand. I'll share the result. Just a second. Okay. So here you can see the solution. V is provided 5500 meter cube, T is given 2.3 second, S is provided 750. So the formula is T is equal to 0.161 V upon summation A into S. Okay. Here we need to calculate the value of small a. So we need to rearrange the equation. So A will be 0.161 V upon T into S. 0.161 multiplied by 5500 divided by 2.3 into 750. So whatever answers I have got, that is 0.513 supine. So how you are getting that answer, I didn't get. So is there anybody who has got this particular answer? Yes.
And that by mistake 750 से multiply करना रहेगा नीचे.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if that is not done, do that thing. So the answer will be 0.513 supine. Okay. So those who have not done the calculations, they can refer this solution. Okay. So next to this, we will see another numerical problem. A lecture hall, its dimensions are provided, length, breadth and height, that are 12 into 10 into 5 respectively, and it has average absorption coefficient 0.1. You have to calculate what will be the reverberation time of the hall. Okay, so here L, B, H are provided and asked to calculate reverberation time. So is it possible from this statement to calculate reverberation time?
Yes, ma'am.
Then go ahead. If anybody feels with the given data it is not possible to calculate reverberation time, then they can mention it directly to me, no problem.
मैम 60 सेकेंड आ रहा है क्या?
Here the answer for the second one,
Yes, ma'am.
that one need to see how you have calculated. Yes.
1.2 second.
Yes, the answer is 2.1 second. Here
Yes, ma'am.
what I have mentioned, it might be challenging from somebody to calculate reverberation time because in the provided statement S is not given. Okay, surface area
Yes, sir.
is not mentioned, but we can calculate surface area of the room if you find any of the problem where LBH are provided. From that LBH it is possible to calculate reverberation time by considering the room is a vacant portion. Okay, so in the denominator what will be there? Small a multiplied by 2, and the formula will be LB plus BH plus HL. Okay, so in this particular problem we have to consider the hall is a vacant room, and we are going to consider only surface area of the 4 walls and floor and ceiling. Okay, so suppose in a room where you are present right now, I have to calculate surface area of the 4 walls. Then what will be the formulas, and what will be the surface area of floor and ceiling? First we will go for the calculation of surface area of the ceiling. What will be the formula for the calculation of surface area of the ceiling?
Length into breadth.
Yes, whatever is the length of the room multiplied by breadth of the room, that will give you surface area of the floor. What about surface area of the ceiling? That ceiling, related to that we have having the formula L into B. What will be the formula for floor? Surface area of the floor
Same as ceiling.
same as that of ceiling.
Ceiling.
Okay, that will be L into B. Now see, in room wherever you are right now, it will have some 4 walls. Okay, so tell me the surface area of the wall which is in front to you. How to calculate? We have to give the formula. Formula I am asking.
Length into height.
Yes, whatever is the, no. See, there will be 2 formulas for the calculation of the surface area of the wall. One will be length into height, one will be length into breadth. Okay, so for 2 walls the surface area will be L into B, and for 2 walls surface area will be L into H. Okay, so like this, if you put all that values in denominator, the formula for surface area will become L into B plus L into B, means surface area of the floor, surface area of the ceiling, then 2 times L into H, 2 times L into B. Okay, so by B into H. Okay, so in all that factors 2 will be in common, so the formula will become L into B plus B into H plus H into L. Okay, related to this again in descriptive manner we are going to see in the practical session. But if such kind of situations are there where only LBH values are provided, then you have to consider this formula. Here you can see the formula is provided 2 in bracket L into B plus B into H plus H into L. Okay, so by considering all that values you will get the final answer as 2.1 second. So hope you people have calculated the answer. Those who have calculated, good job. Those who have not calculated, they can take this calculation and this particular solution. Okay, is there any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so for home assignment, based upon this only, another statement is provided. Find reverberation time of a hall of dimensions 20 multiplied by 15 multiplied by 10 and having absorption coefficient 0.106. Okay, so what will be the reverberation time that you have to calculate? So note down this particular statement, and in next lecture you are going to give me the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next point, whatever we have seen with respect to reverberation, or at first we have seen echo, So why we have learned all these things? Just to understand wherever construction is going on and whenever a hall is getting designed, so what parameters one need to consider. Like we have seen, to get a proper reverberation time or whatever reverberation time is there, that is depending upon the volume of the hall. So volume plays important role in sound propagation. Okay, so whatever is the volume, and this is to be considered. Like suppose there is one application, or you can consider building is getting constructed and that building is made for some school or colleges. Okay, then another building is getting designed where one need to have some kinds of seminars, okay, or conferences will be there in that particular building. Then another building is say home apartment. So whatever are the instances, of course they require various kinds of sound propagation. So how will be the sound propagation that one need to consider, or what is the purpose of that building that one need to consider while designing or while constructing that particular building. And depending upon that, some arrangements one need to do, and what are that arrangements that we are going to see with this particular point, that is acoustical design of a hall. Okay, so a hall or auditorium that is designed for say lectures or for concerts or for seminars, it is regarded to have right acoustical quality. And what are the acoustical qualities? One is mentioned that the initial sound from the source should be of adequate intensity. Suppose you are in a particular seminar hall or you are in a movie theater where you are not getting the sound properly, so you will not prefer to be there for a longer time, because whatever is going on the stage or say on the screen, you are not hearing anything. Then what is the benefit to watch all that things? Okay, so everyone will require particular amount of sound intensity at each and every corner of the room. So sound propagation should be proper. So whatever is the source that is generating the sound, that should be of adequate intensity, that should fulfill the sound requirements of particular volume. Okay, the next point, that whatever is the sound getting generated by the source, that should evenly spread into the area. If the sound is high at say only for first of the half of the room and it is not getting properly spread over the last part, then of course it will create the trouble. So even distribution of sound in any room is of high importance. Then the most important thing, whatever sound is getting generated, of course at say this particular instance I am generating some amount of sound, and whatever I am saying, that is getting communicated to you people. Next to that, say I am saying another statement. So whatever my first statement is there, that should reach to you. Then whatever is my second statement, that should reach to you properly. But if, like we have seen recently, reverberation time means prolongation of the sound. So whatever I have given in the first statement and that sound is having high amount of reverberation, then when my second sound will reach to you, you will feel the first statement with you at that moment also. Okay, because reverberation time of first statement is quite high. So in that case, whatever is the sound generated successively, that will not be clear to you, and that will create the confusion in the audience. So while designing any of the hall, one need to see that whatever is the successive sound, that should be clear and distinct, and whatever is the quality of that sound, it should not get altered. And that's why basically with respect to point number B and C, generally speakers or loudspeakers are provided in the rooms who are having high amount of volume. then whatever is the undesired sound that is generated over there, that should be reduced. So how to reduce the undesired sound or audience sound? In last lecture I have shown you one video, and the last part of that video is related to point number D. Okay, so again we are going to discuss what was that point. Okay, so here one cartoon you can see. Suppose you want to learn something, you are attending the lectures, say, or there is at that moment there is a huge sound in the surrounding. So would you like to prefer such kind of places for your study or for your lecture conduct, where in the surrounding there is a huge noise?
No.
Ma'am.
Another situation, suppose I am conducting a lecture and there is a huge sound around me. So are you going to prefer to attend such kind of lectures?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Of course no.
No attendance.
I am not talking about attendance. I am saying that in my surrounding there is a huge amount of sound getting generated. So whatever I will say, that will not reach to you. So of course you will not prefer to attend that kind of lecture where there is a high amount of background disturbance. Okay, so everybody wants that at your place or at my place, whatever our surrounding is there, that should be quiet and calm. Okay, and such kind of things we need to consider while considering the designing any of the hall. Okay, so here the first point that one need to see while constructing any of the building, that is, it should be quite, it should have quiet surrounding, and it should be away from the noisy location. Okay, so basically whatever points we are going to see now, that will be related to acoustical design of a hall. So suppose we are going to consider all that points by considering construction of, say, one seminar hall is going on and what requirements it will have. So first requirement will be site selection. Have you ever seen that any college or any say school is near to railway station, or it is just beside the bus station? Have you ever seen such kind of instances that very next to bus stand there is a school, or very next to railway station there is a school or college? Have you ever seen such kind of thing?
Yes, ma'am.
You have seen?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have seen, then they have wrongly have the selection related to site. Generally, whenever one need to have the building related to school or college, we need to see quiet surrounding should be there. Okay, why quiet surrounding is required? Because if there is a delivery of lecture, if some seminars are going to be there, some conferences are going to be there, there will be lecture kind of things at that place, then at that moment noisy location will create a trouble. So whatever one want to deliver, that will not be delivered in a proper manner. So whenever a building construction is there, we need to see what is the purpose of that building, and according to that site selection should be there. Okay, so for schools and colleges it is preferred to have their location away from the noisy areas, quiet surrounding will be there, and if auditorium is for higher amount of audiences, then it should have air conditioning, like you might have seen for the movie theaters. Okay, basically all movie theaters, they are having air conditioning, and generally there will not be any window in that particular hall. So why do you think windows are not provided in the cinema theaters? Have you ever seen a window is there in the cinema hall?
No.
What is the reason?
and because the surrounding could get disturbed by the sounds.
Yes, whenever you prefer to go into cinema theater, generally the main purpose is to feel that ambience. Okay, so if windows are there, so what will happen? The external noise will get propagated into the hall, or whatever is sound in that hall, that will going to get outside the hall. Okay, and that will create the trouble. That is not appropriate for that kind of instances. Okay, so that's why basically windows are not provided to the cinema theaters. And basically air conditioning, of course, it provides the comfort to the audience, but at the same time it is having high impact in sound propagation. So air conditioning is the important thing for the auditoriums or for cinema theaters, if we consider the sound propagation. Then the second point in acoustical design of a hall is volume, because in the previous part of the session we have seen reverberation time is depending upon the volume of the hall. So if volume is big, of course reverberation time will be higher. Inverse case is possible for the inverse, it will give you the inverse relation. Okay, so basically volume, if a particular hall is big enough, then of course you need to have sound propagation in that manner only. Okay, so how much amount of volume is preferred? The floor area of hall is computed excluding the stage or basing on the requirement of 0.6 to 0.9 meter square per person. Okay, like suppose whatever lectures hall we have designed, they are for 60 number of students. Okay, but suppose for a lecture 2 classes are combined. Suppose like you might have feel in the last mathematics lecture, you people are combined with F division students. Okay, so of course whatever lectures are going on, that are in online mode right now, but consider the situation that your particular teacher is absent and mathematics teacher is asked to conduct 2 classes at the same time. Okay, he is having lecture on the F division, also he has to conduct lecture of E division. Okay, and at that moment it is not possible for him to move in 2 different rooms. So what he will suggest to you, that you people from the E division come to the class of FYF division. Now whatever FYF division is there, it is having the capability of 30 students, and in F division already 30 students are there. Now you 30 when get add to the volume of only 30 students, what will happen? A hall which is designed for 30 students and already having 30 persons in that room, there you 30 people are going, what will happen?
And sound will not be heard clearly to everyone.
First, discomfort will be there. Whatever space is provided, that will be not adequate to 60 amount of students. So of course there will be some kinds of discomfort will be there. Another, you people will feel a breathing problem, because in a small area high amount of persons are getting occupied, and of course it will create a trouble. There will be say high amount of carbon dioxide and less amount of oxygen will be provided there, and at the same time when such kind of situations will be there, sound absorption will be higher. Okay, because persons are getting increased over there, and whatever is the sound propagation, that will be not be proper in that area. So by considering the audience number, one need to have the calculation related to volume of the hall. Okay, so suppose if auditorium is getting designed where they want to have 1000 amount of audience, then volume should be according to that. Okay, and while calculating the volume, the range is provided. We need to consider 0.6 to 0.9 meter square area for a single person. So according to that volume, one need to calculate while constructing any of the hall. Okay, so that's why any of the cinema theater or any of the auditoriums, they are having the audience counting in a fixed manner. Okay, whatever seats are provided in that area, that are counted with particular number, and they do not exceed that particular number. Okay, so it is not advisable to have more amount of person if volume is small. So volume plays important role in the sound propagation, and that should be considered while constructing any of the hall or any of the room. Then shape of such kind of places is also plays important role. So how kind of shapes are provided. So here you can see one image over here. Okay, so in that image what you can see, a rectangular kind of shape is there, which is having a small area at this front face as compared to this backspace. So whenever you will visit into any of the cinema theater, you might be having such kind of design, or if you are visiting to any of the auditorium, you will see such kind of shape over there. Why that shape is provided? The answer is provided in the figure itself. Here you can see, suppose this part, this first portion is nothing but the stage where there will be a sound source. So if sound source is at this particular point, with the help of such kind of S-plate shape, or this shape we can say as a fans, whatever electric fan we are having, it's whatever its blade are there, so that kind of structure you can see over here. Okay, so with the help of such kind of shape, high amount of reflection is possible, and whatever sound is generated by the source, that will go to each and every audience of the room. Okay, so generally for good sound propagation, that kind of structures or that kind of shapes are selected for the construction of auditorium, and you will not simply see the parallel or rectangular with parallel faces. Okay, also to have such kind of thing, another reason is there. So can you have any idea what will be the reason? Suppose auditorium is getting constructed for 1000 capacity of people. So if we select rectangular in which all the walls are parallel to each other, so is that preferred to have such kind of design? If such kind of design is there, what will be the problem over there? Can you get whatever I have said?
Ma'am, means if there is no ceiling like that?
No, I think we are having only 5 minutes, so I would like to stop over here, and whatever I want to discuss, that I am going to tell you in the next lecture, because in continuation you are attending 2 lectures, so I don't want to trouble you anymore. And today attendance is also not possible at